Oh my god! Yeah. Whew. Hey guys, how's it going? So I don't think this game needs too much introduction. I mean, it's one of the biggest indie games to come out in the past decade. So in the midst of Silksong finally getting its release date, oh my god, I decided to buy the game again, play all of it, and make a video about it in only 2 weeks. The things I do to myself. We have a good amount of things to cover. I mean, look at this map. It's pretty big, ain't it? You know what else is big? My dog Zeus. Wanna say something to the people? I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but I'll try my best not to take up too much of your time. I just want to gush about how much Hollow Knight means to me as a game, and I know exactly where to start. After my most recent replay, this marks my 9th playthrough of the game. It's safe to say I know all the ins and outs of the vast land of Hallownest, but with every game, their first playthrough will always be your most special one. When I began my descent, I immediately enjoyed the vibe and art style. However, I wasn't really hooked in the beginning. It felt kinda slow, and unsurprisingly, I was constantly lost. That's kinda what you're signing up for when playing a Metroidvania though, so I wasn't too deterred by it. That being said, Forgotten Crossroads is a really strong beginning area. I have fun getting lost in a world as long as it isn't really boring. And, well, Hollow Knight didn't really get to that point in my opinion. If I ever got close to that, the game just throws an interesting secret or even a boss fight. I thought False Knight was one of the coolest starting bosses ever. I was really engaged. I really liked the early game. I can see why some people find it slow and boring, and admittedly sometimes it can be, but I never got tired of it. However, I did just have a few worries that the game was going to stick to these darker blue and gray colors. I was hoping it wasn't going to be all doom and gloom the entire way. And then I got the green path. This is where the ball started rolling. This is the magic of Hollow Knight and one of its strongest aspects. The game constantly opens up with every single new area you discover. From this onward, it only gets better. I thoroughly enjoyed exploring everything. It would feel exciting whenever I saw a new area start peeking in, just waiting for me to enter it. This is one of the most perfectly crafted interconnected maps I've ever seen. Remember when I said I owned the map? Wasn't that cool? Please tell me I'm cool. But yes, the map was one of my favorite things to discover on my first run. It's fun to collect things in this game. Grubs, charms, geo, crests, anything that's around the world that looks shiny, I'm picking it up. When I eventually got my hands on the Wayward Compass and the Quill, my incentive to explore went up tenfold. I spent so much time smacking walls and trying to get to places I probably shouldn't be since I didn't have the required moves, but I still tried it anyway. And sometimes I kinda sequence broke at times, so yeah, that was funny. I'm not sure if any Metroidvania I've played so far has given me the joy Hollow Knight does when I'm just vibing in the vast map. And I've played my fair share of these games. Everything feels so alive in this. Well, alive enough in a game full of bugs who are nearly all infected by the Radiance's bathwater. The point I'm trying to make is how immersive this world is. No joke, I'll legit sit there and take in the environment around me for hours. There's multiple times where the game just had me stun locked, even now in my most recent run. It's all so well made and I just couldn't get enough of it. You'll leave each part of the map with at least one notable thing you'll remember it for, whether it was positive or negative. Even the places I didn't like had something I remembered it for. We all loved our first time in Deep Nest. Right, guys? Now yes, the game's pretty and all, but it wouldn't be nearly as good without the bugs that inhabit it. The enemy variety of Hollow Knight is immense. I was so impressed at how many new encounters I had during the game. I went ahead and searched how many enemies were actually in the game, and I learned there was over 150. I want to remind you guys that everything in this game is fully hand-drawn. It's so impressive when you think about it. Not everyone's an enemy though. The friendly faces we see during our journey are some of the best. From the soft-spoken Elder Bug, to the arrogant Zote the Mighty, to the mysterious Hornet, to my best friend in the entire world, Quirrell. Yeah man, the cast is so memorable. I cared about almost everyone that I met. There's so many critters in this game I think about all the time. Shout out to the mushroom guys at Fungal Waste. You guys will forever be my goats. It really helps that we get a bestiary we have to fill out ourselves, kill a certain amount of enemies and we get to learn the lore behind the enemy. It makes you want to be the relentless serial killer you were always meant to be.
Writing down notes about them in their own blood. The hunter will be pleased.
Sorry guys, I went somewhere. What happened? Oh yeah, fighting enemies is pretty fun. Speaking of the fighting, I think this game has one of the most fun combat loops. It starts out simple, but as it goes on and you gain more attacks and spells, it feels like the game itself evolves with you. You go from basic swipes and occasional magic shots to bouncing off enemies and zipping all over the place like the annoying little stag beetle you are. If you compare a fight in the beginning of the game to a fight in the end game, it almost feels like these aren't the same game. Hollow Knight feels amazing to play in general. The movement is fluid, and when you unlock more tools for traversal, there's never a dull moment when moving around the map. This also coincides with how fun the platforming is. The devs were so creative when putting together some of these segments. Bouncing off stuff with my nail will never get old, especially in Path of Pain. Oh my god, Path of Pain. After you get through the early game, the progression is smooth sailing. It's very easy to pour in countless hours without even realizing it. I found myself spending multiple sessions in just one area. And what area is that, you may ask? Well, it's my favorite part of the entire game, and it's the place that truly made me fall in love with the game. Ladies and gents, the City of Tears. Now, I was originally gonna try to go through every single part of the map and give them their own little sections. This video would be way too long if I did, so I'm just gonna gush about my absolute favorite. City of Tears is an unforgettable experience. I cannot stress enough how beautiful this place is. When I met my best friend Coral and sat with him on the bench with a view of the rain outside and this angelic music played in the background, this is when I knew I was in for something special. Sitting on my bed staring at my small TV at the dead of night is something I'll never forget. I nearly cried here. I'm not kidding. This was just perfect. I understand I might be acting a little dramatic in this video, but hey man, that happens when you're passionate about something. What can I say? Regardless, the City of Tears is one of my all-time favorite areas in a video game. I can't help but get a little emotional every time I hear that music. And when it comes to the music in this game, somebody needs to give Christopher Larkin every single award in history. Unsurprisingly, this OST is an all-timer. I've put it in my videos already before, and I find myself listening to at least a few tracks every single day. Each track is so unique and distinct from another too. It makes the world feel even more alive. One more tidbit about City of Tears. The fact that you can find the singer behind the angelic vocals is just pleasant. There's also the whimsical nature of Green Path, the calm sereneness of Dirtmouth, the absolute nightmare that is Deep Nest. The OST is just a joy to listen to. I can't get enough of it. Now, let's talk about the bosses. Hollow Knight's cast of bosses is incredibly strong. They're so memorable. Of course, there's some that aren't too good, but the ones that are good are damn good. You know when people say boss fights can feel like a dance in some ways? That couldn't apply more to one of my favorites in the whole game, the Mantis Lords. This, in every single way, is a dance. I love this fight so much. The music is exhilarating and the pace of the fight really keeps you on your toes. Losing your footing can mess you up bad, but I've gotten to a point where I can no-hit this fight. I'm pretty obsessed with it, to say the least. The crazier version, aka the Sisters of Battle, is my favorite fight in the entire game. This is perfect. Nothing else can be said about it. There's so many other amazing boss battles too. There's over 40 in the game and I liked almost every single one of them. Almost every single one of them. I'm so glad we got the God Home update so we can experience them whenever we want. I want to mention a few more of my favorites real quick. Soul Master, Hive Knight, Dung Defender, Hornet, Pure Vessel, Grim, False Knight, Zoth the Mighty, Radiant. So many good bosses.
Reba Makta.
No, not you. How the hell did you get here? You gotta leave.
Reba Sorrow.
No, this is not negotiable. What are you talking about? So guys, I really love Markoth actually. Hollow Knight made me appreciate a single type of storytelling more than anything else. Environmental storytelling. Show don't tell is the prime direction for this game. There's bits and pieces for you to sink your teeth into and discover the events that have transpired in Hollowness. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it certainly became mine. I've spent so much time putting together the lore of the game, more time than a normal person should. I'm totally normal, I swear. Nonetheless, I adore the story. It's so incredibly crafted and the characters involved are all so interesting. Their personal stories that intertwine with the events of the game tie it all together so well. Coral's personal journey was a big highlight. Seeing him help you against Umu as a final act of heroism made me pop off harder than you could ever imagine. His final speech before leaving his nail behind pains me to no end. He's not dead, guys. He just left. I promise. Stop saying he's dead. Please, he's not dead. I gotta enforce this next point really hard. Team Cherry is a crazy studio. These people are insane. You know why? Because they made such a huge game with 4 completely free DLC expansions that had so much content and infinite replayability for only $15. $15! This game could have been a full AAA price and I'd still want to pay more money for it. To put this in perspective, Team Cherry is a very, very small studio. I'll put the number of people on the team at the time too. To put this in perspective, the base game will take you around 30 hours to beat. If you want to get all the grubs, charms, optional bosses, etc. done, you're probably looking at around 40 for all of it. Now take in mind the Grim Troop, Lifeblood, Hidden Dreams, and God Home expansions that had even more things to do, more bosses, more quests, 112% completion, someone help! In a vast sea of full price games that have a 50-50 chance of being good or bad, most of the time being bad, I'm so thankful for not just Hollow Knight, but the indie scene in general. We get quality games for affordable prices. Indies are so good for the industry. That being said, let me give you more money, Team Cherry. I'm begging you. You and From Software are the only companies I'll pour endless amounts of my bank into with no regrets. Am I glazing too much? Nah, not enough. With all this being said, Hollow Knight, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. It's something I recommend to anybody more than anything else. I said it changed my life earlier, so I think it's time for me to explain that a bit. What Hollow Knight has done for me personally can't be understated. My taste in games at the time were a bit basic? I don't know, I never really tried to branch out and expand my horizon. I was strictly a certified AAA gamer. I grew up playing the usual stuff kids do. Mario, COD, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, those games based on movies that were either dog water or one of the greatest ever made. This game changed all of that. After I finished Hollow Knight, I wanted to search for more things to play. It's like I opened Pandora's box and I was thrown into an entirely new world of gaming. I think everybody has a game like that in their lives. They're brought up with the usual stuff, then find that one game that broadens their palette for the rest of their lives. This was that game for me. During this time, I spent the next 5 years playing so many different types of games that my palette felt so improved. I can't believe I was missing out on all of these incredible titles from past to present. Hollow Knight is the reason why I'm into Souls games. I used to think they weren't fun. I had Dark Souls remastered on my Switch because a friend gifted it to me. Like most people, I played a bit of it, kept dying, and just stopped playing it. However, after finishing Hollow Knight, I went back and finished Dark Souls. I found a completely new appreciation for it. Souls games are my favorite genre in the world, and to think I never would have played a single one if it wasn't for this game, I would have missed the Elden Ring hype, man. One of the best time periods in the gaming sphere. This game taught me how important the indie scene is for the industry as well. I knew they existed, but I had zero idea that there were so many. I dove into these games and never looked back since. Play indies, y'all. It's a completely different world out there. After I made the decision to pick up the game on my local Best Buy, I made an effort to do that more often. Instead of just scrolling endlessly through the digital store on my console, I went on walks to my local spots and actually took a lot of time digging into what they had instead of just going in and out and asking for whatever game came out that day. Story time. In 2021, I was using my Switch way more than ever before for obvious reasons. One day I picked up a game called Monster Hunter Rise, another game that changed my life. How? This game is what led me to my girlfriend of nearly 3 straight years. We met after I found some fan art she made on Twitter. Go follow her, by the way, and give her money to make more amazing art that looks like this. It is incredible. We became friends and I learned she was pretty close by to me actually. So I decided, hey, you want to go hang out, grab some dinner? And after that, everything is history. We hooked up from there and now we've been together for such a long time now. I couldn't be happier. She's the most important person in my life. If I didn't make it a habit out of going out and searching for new games, I probably never would have met her. If I didn't play Hollow Knight, I didn't play Rise. And if I didn't play Rise, then obviously I wouldn't have met my girlfriend. It's insane to think about looking back at it. I can't say it enough, but this game means so much to me. I mean, another example, the crippling debt that this game has put me in over the years. For the love of God, help. After I finished up this recent replay, I think I came to a pretty big decision too. For such a long while, I swore by Bloodborne as my favorite game of all time. It is near and dear to my heart and I will forever herald it as my #1. Until now. After a while of discussing with the council, which went on for multiple hours, lives were lost in this debate. But as it stands right now, Hollow Knight is officially my favorite video game ever made. It means too much to me and the impact it's had on my life is something I'm eternally grateful for. It only feels right to have it as my true #1. Bloodborne's still a very close second though. Seriously though, I don't know if any of the guys over at Team Cherry are going to see this video, but if any of you somehow are, I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for crafting this masterpiece of a game. You guys are the absolute greatest. After its announcement in 2019, Silksong went from originally being a DLC to now a full-on sequel that's generated some of the most hype I've seen since Elden Ring. The past 6 years have been pretty rough, trust me, I get it. The trenches we had to endure will be written in the history books. But finally, the day we thought would never come is finally here. We have a release date. The wait will all be worth it on September 4th. We can all retire our clown noses and wigs. We fought a good fight and now it's time to dive back into this wonderful world once again. No more copium before every single presentation. I can't wait, man. I will absolutely be pulling an all-nighter at launch without a second thought. Some may think the hype is getting a little overblown and the game might not live up to it, but I want to let it be known that they spent all this time doing nothing but adding things to the game. They went out and said that they pretty much never got stuck during development, even during the pandemic. If this isn't the most wholesome thing to hear, I don't know what is. The last 6 straight years were spent doing nothing but having fun making their own game. I love this studio, man. I think one of the best things about Silksong is how little we really know. We've only seen just a smidge of the game after all this time. There's gonna be so much to uncover and it makes me all giddy thinking about it. None of us are ready for what they've cooked. You think Hollow Knight was big? Well, it was. I mean, remember the map? But no, Silksong is going to be a colossal game. My most anticipated thing about this above all else is going to be the immersion. I spent countless hours just wandering the world of Hollow Knight, and I fully expect Silksong to do the same to an even greater extent. I'm curious about the lore we get. Is it a sequel, a prequel, is Hornet void? Where did Quirrell go? Who is Mr. Mushroom? Will they ever find the bodies in my basement? You guys don't want to know how many times I've watched the reveal trailer and E3 demo. Yes, we've been waiting for so long that E3 was still alive. I miss you so much, my king. I find it really funny that the demo at Gamescom was the same one we had in 2019. That's definitely intentional, by the way. I feel like after such a long wait, it makes sense to keep the demo the same. It can be a nice refresher for people who saw it already, and an opportunity to bring even more new people in considering the hype level the game has right now. I mean, the demo had a good amount of content in it. It's also just funny, so I'll allow it. Everything is looking good for Silksong right now. The movement is precise, the combat looks stupid fun, the tools look really neat, and the map looks like it's going to be a thrill to explore. I mean, what else is there to really say at this point? Silksong is coming out in 2 weeks. I will repeat, 2 weeks. We're at the end of the road. All my Fable, Elder Scrolls, and Kingdom Hearts fans out there, my heart goes out to you. It's your time now. Good luck, buddy. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I was in a bit of a breakneck pace to get this up because I saw the release date, dropped everything I was doing, and decided to not only replay the game but also get this video out at the same time. If you're as excited as I am about Silksong, stay tuned because I guarantee there's going to be a video about it. But until then, I take my leave for now. If you liked what you saw, why not drop me a like or a sub in the usual biz? I wanted this video to be a little bit longer, but I only had 2 weeks to not only make it, but also replay the entire game as well. I'm shooting for that 112%, you best believe. I also just became employed now, so things are going good for me. Regardless, I hope this video resonates with some of you. I wanted to get a little bit more personal this time around so I can truly tell you how much Hollow Knight means to me. What was the game that defined your taste? Did you have a similar experience to me? If you did, then tell me in the comments. I'd love to discuss with all of you. But until then, my name is Shen, and it's been real. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. I love you all, and peace.